everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've decided to create a autumn themed page today. It's been a while since I've worked in my large square journal and I'm excited to get started. I've chosen warm colors such as raw sienna and burnt sienna, and I'll be using a textured sponge and a sponge brush to apply them. I'll also be using these creamy crayons in autumn colors, plus I've gathered some colorful jelly prints on which I will stamp my focal images. In my case it's going to be some cute mushrooms. First, I spray some water on the entire page and then drop in some acrylic ink in raw sienna. Using the sponge brush, I lightly spread the ink around. I'm not worried about a perfect application, as this is just the first layer. Next, I dip my textured sponge in the burnt sienna acrylic paint on my palette, and I use it as a stamp to make random marks. This background reminds me of a golden autumn day with the brown leaves blowing in the wind, well, in an abstract way. This needs to dry before adding the next layer. Now that this is dry, I'm going to draw a big circle with the water-soluble crayons. Then I pick up some gel medium with a bit of kitchen towel to blend the colors together. I will need to work fairly quickly, as once the crayons are dry, they are set. Now it's time for some fun stamping. I will first stamp a selection of leaves using a green ink pad. I'm using them with and without an acrylic stamping block to get a more varied look. I'm setting this aside to dry and now focus on my main images. I've chosen some mushroom motifs and I'm going to stamp them on these leftover jelly prints. I did not film this part as it is quite boring to watch in my opinion. I've already cut out my stamped images and arranged them to my liking before gluing them down with a glue stick. I've also added a little acorn and a sentiment to balance out the focal image. Finally, I liven up the page with some splatters in a contrasting sky blue. I hope you enjoyed this autumn page. A thumbs up would be very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Hope to see you next time. Bye.